Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and stay tuned by clicking the bell icon. Heartstopper Season 2's most interesting character doesn't need a romance. This character already had a big impact on Heartstopper. With Season 2 of the sweet LGBTQ plus teen romance Heartstopper hitting our screens on August 3rd, we have been invited back into the lives of Charlie Spring, Joe Locke, Nick Nelson, Kit Connor, and friends. The very well-received coming-of-age series based on Alice Oseman's graphic novels of the same name follows the journey of a group of friends as they navigate their sexuality, gender identity, and high school friendships and relationships. Coming from a tumultuous but heartwarming first season, Episode 1 of the new season sets the scene with Charlie and Joe entering the honeymoon phase of their budding relationship with an extensive kissing montage. Whilst giving us a youthful and healthy representation of a teenage gay relationship that was sorely needed on our screens, it also gives us an insight into the mature direction that the story will be headed. The season turns the romance up a notch even further, with virtually every single main character paired up with a love interest. From Elle Argent, Yasmin Finney, and Talexu, William Gao, breaking through the friend zone, and even teachers Mr. Farouk, Nima Talagani, and Mr. Ajayi, Viseo Akinade, getting their own love story too. However, with this much romance in the air, our focus couldn't help but turn to Isaac Henderson, played by Toby Donovan. Our resident book lover Isaac, who could easily blend into the background if you aren't paying attention, found himself wrapped up in a novel for much of Season 1. With his loved-up best friends often taking center stage, we would often find Isaac by their side with a book in his hand, and supporting his mates through their love lives. In the second season, Isaac's otherness became clearer, specifically among the abundance of conversations of crushes, boyfriends, and girlfriends. As the viewer, we could feel his obvious internal confusion through the screen with his inability to relate, which opened up the dialogue for Isaac's long-awaited story of personal exploration. New character James McEwen, Bradley Riches, enters as a potential love interest for the bookworm, and the pair bond over their shared appreciation for literature. However, it becomes clear that despite Isaac enjoying James' company, he lacks any romantic feelings towards him. In the final episodes, Isaac discovers what it means to be asexual at an LGBTQ+ art exhibition, underlining the importance and need for LGBT+ events and safe spaces for young adults. Isaac's silent and lonely process of personal discovery is one of the most interesting parts of Season 2, and we can applaud this all to the great performance from Toby Donovan. His ability to portray Isaac's story, which largely played out without confiding in any other character, is quite impressive. As a member of the audience, we were able to understand exactly where Isaac was at emotionally, without any spoon-feeding dialogue, and in turn, the viewer is able to extend a strong sense of empathy for the character. In Episode 7, Isaac leaves his friendship group to clear things up with the aforementioned James, with whom he had shared a fruitless kiss in the previous episode. Upon his return, Isaac is met by his friends, jumping to conclusions about his relationship status, who each clearly had never bothered to consider his feelings in the matter. Powerfully, Isaac says, "I hate that you don't think my life is interesting unless I have some kind of romantic drama going on, but I'm sorry to break it to you, I don't like him back," which I think expertly sums up Season 2. There was this strange underlying pressure for Isaac to like James back, and not even by James himself but instead by his own best friends. They seem to think that everyone would automatically want to be in a relationship, when that simply is not true, and not only for those who identify themselves as asexual. Here then lies a subliminal message that the end goal for everyone should be relationships of this nature, creating this damaging sense of otherness for people who can't or choose not to. Whilst Heartstopper does a great job of showing healthy examples of young LGBTQ+ love stories and the importance of friendships in adolescence, this season feels at times like every single character has to have a romantic pining. And whilst we love to see our favorites be in happy and healthy relationships, this happiness shouldn't hinge on a romantic relationship. Isaac Henderson becomes the most interesting character here because he represents a story outside this culture, cultivated in Heartstopper. With so many romantic endeavors, it is a refreshing change of pace to criticize the love stories of Heartstopper. They are nothing short of beautiful and affirming stories that will impact a whole generation, with Isaac's characterization only furthering the groundbreaking inclusivity of Alice Oseman's work. Oseman herself identifies as asexual and aromantic, which in hindsight is unsurprising given the authentic and natural depiction of Isaac's story. The root of why his story works so well, And why it has become such a highlight this season is because it is an asexual story from an asexual person, proving the importance of inclusion on and behind the screen. Heartstopper has opened a new pathway for LGBTQ+ stories in mainstream media, in more ways than one. It has strayed away from some of the more adult themes that we are seeing in the popular teen series of today, and instead navigating the experiences of queer individuals with a lighter touch, focusing on the youthful and innocent nature of first love, maybe one that more teens are likely to experience or would like to. In the same way, it is making waves in expanding the level of inclusion expected and deserved in LGBTQ+ media, providing productive and realistic asexual representation through characters like Isaac Henderson. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, comment, and share.